All right, that's better. I wanted to get the kind of comfort level on Facebook in general with those in the room. How many of you guys use it all the time? How many of you check it once a day?
Oh, I check it once a day.
I don't even have one.
Don't have one. Check it once a day.
Yeah. Not once a day, but maybe every other day, every 3 days.
Every other day. I was just sitting how often you use Facebook in general, or if you
I
use it at all.
Check it 2 or 3 times a day.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm in your book of 2 or 3 times a day. And how long have you guys been on Facebook?
3 years, maybe?
2 or 3 years.
About the same.
And you're not on Facebook, right? Okay.
Yeah, but in Korea, a few years back, we kind of started like this kind of social thing.
Oh yeah.
It was booming that year, couple years. I'm not sure now. Kind of it's phased off.
I see.
And I thought it was too much distraction, and I don't want. I just
Right.
need.
Oh, and that's a good point in that I think a lot of how much you use Facebook depends on how much your friend group and those that you want to connect with are on Facebook. And so for like me, for example, I have a lot of friends from college and grad school that post things that I want to know about and interesting updates and articles, and it's another source of news for me, social and every other way. Whereas my husband is a little bit older than me, does not have a large friend group that he necessarily connects with on there that much, so he doesn't go on there very often. Now students, on the other hand, are on there all the time. It is the major way they connect. So that's why I thought this would be an important topic. I wanted to start with briefly why Facebook does matter, though, beyond school. See if you guys are familiar that that nonprofits and schools like Chandler and Oliver are using Facebook to connect with their bases all the time now. Like here's an example of a nonprofit, the Girl Effect, that distributes information, collects donations, talks about events. I have a friend who's at works for Chicago School of Art in Chicago, and she says that she had to join Facebook because all the events are now no longer emailed. It is, if you're not on Facebook, you don't get the evite to the event, not evite, the invitation. You don't know what's going on. So it's not just for 13-year-olds anymore. I guess is what I'm trying to get at here, that it's becoming a major tool for organizations to connect with people, and I think that's overlooked sometimes by people that are unfamiliar with Facebook that haven't realized how mainstream it is now. It's obviously ubiquitous, I was going to say, in the... Oh, no, before I do that, actually, I wanted to mention, too, for these nonprofit sites, anyone can create a page like this, and Facebook has tools that allow you to determine how many people are visiting your site, how many they're coming per week, how many interactions they're having with you. So they even have tools built into these pages that are free for these nonprofits. So this is a very desirable platform for a lot of people.
Do they have to be a nonprofit?
No, anyone can create a page. So I created, that's what this one was. I created a test page. It was called Test Cause Page, and I just threw it up there. So anyone can create anything and try to draw attention to it. Sometimes you'll see I want to get 1 million people to vote that my mom's hat is crazy page, so you'll get stuff like that too. So it's both silly and it's, real, like an organization that's trying to promote women's rights around the world, so. Obviously, you guys are probably here also because of its effect on the younger generation. I don't know, do you guys have nieces and nephews that are just using it, or kids, or that are just using it all the time, and that's really a major form of communication along with texting? Like, I emailed my brother, who's a little bit younger, and he hardly even responds on email. Like, if I don't text him
Don't
or...
email or even talk to each other on the phone anymore.
Yeah.
It's like all
Yeah.
communicating through a text or an email, Facebook message.
Exactly. I mean, that seems to be, now again, 5 years we could be different, but that is what the platform is right now, and it is what they're using to communicate. So I have a few links on here for parents and for you guys about, one's called Common Sense Media. I liked this page about parent advice for you to look at in your own time about why it matters, and the fact that social pressure on kids, to be involved at this age of how they form their identities on Facebook and their interactions with their peers on Facebook are sometimes a source of pressure and stress, and especially when they're just learning about social circles. So there's some good information on this website, and some stuff about Facebook privacy, which I'll go into later. Yeah, I did. Actually, it's right over And I'll email this to you so you have the links as well if you guys are here. And I also on here have the link to the privacy guide on Facebook, which I don't feel like many, let me put that in there, it's not linking. I don't think many people take the time to read, and if I miss something or you want to go back and check it out later, they actually do a really nice job on Facebook. I know it gets a bad rap about trying to give away your personal information, and whether or not advertisers are going to get on the site in the future, I think is currently, you know, a hot topic debate, but they do give you a lot of control over which one of your friends see what. It's not like a MySpace where it used to be everyone sees everything. Facebook gives you a lot of control, and I'm going to go through some of those, but so you know, this Facebook privacy guide, any parent that comes up that's curious, or if you're curious, look through the privacy guide up here. So let's talk about some of the privacy stuff here. So do you guys know that you can create private friend lists? So I was going to go through that if you're interested. In other words, if you don't want everyone to see everything, the first step is to create a friend list. And to do that, I have it on the handout, but you go into your friends on this side, and then you have to go up to edit friends, and then you create a list. It makes it very easy to create the list. You just click on the names. So you could have a work list. You could have I have one list, and it's sort of, I call it my core friends list. It's the list I want to check when I don't have time to check everyone. Because your news feed, which you may, or how familiar are you guys with the news feed? You know what that is? It's the list of content that Facebook has decided that it thinks you want to see. It's doing it by how popular the post was, like how many people commented. 10 people commented on this, so Facebook thinks I want to see what this woman has to say. Or I maybe have messaged this woman a lot, so it's assuming I want to know what she's messaging about. So newsfeed is just sort of Facebook guessing what you want to know. It's not a straight up list of everything in order. If you go to most recent, it'll give you a list of the most recent things in order, and which may or may not mirror what it deems top news. So you can control what you see in your news feed. I can decide to go down here. These are my lists. When I click on, instead of top news, if I go to most recent and then click on this drop down menu, this is also on the little extra handout, your friend groups, once you set up those friend lists, they'll be there. And you can choose, okay, I only want to see what my core friends are doing because I have 5 minutes, let me see their hits, or I want to see what everyone wants to do. That's kind of for your news feed only.
It's like a filter.
It's a filter, exactly. So you can filter that by, you could have 10 groups here, you could have 5 groups here, you could have, most people have no groups.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you can.
You can have different privacy settings for each group.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do next. Exactly. So when you are going to post, obviously, generally when you post, whatever your privacy settings are determines who sees that. A lot of students and parents aren't aware that they can change that, and the default is often friends of friends, which I think is a little misleading. In other words, have you noticed in your news feed sometimes you'll see posts from people you don't even know, and it's because they have a privacy setting that friends of their friends can see their posts. So strangers, in essence, are seeing what you're posting. So in your privacy settings, which are over here, the baseline, if you're not aware of privacy settings in general, the baseline here, I recommend you go to friends only. This is sort of a standard. That means only your friends will see everything you post, period. If you go to their recommended, that's not necessarily going to be so. So that's a baseline for everyone to know. Just put it on friends only, unless it's a cause page, you know, something like the Girl Effect, and they want to get this out in public and be searchable, and Google will hit them. So different pages have different needs, but most adults want to only have people that they know see their stuff. But once you have your lists and you come into the privacy guide, oh wait, before I do that, let me back up here. So if you have those friend lists set up, and I want to do a posting, and this is maybe referring negatively on my workplace in some way, and I don't want them to see it, or I'm joking around, but I'm not sure they're all going to get it. When you go,
that music room next door is so loud.
Exactly. When you drop down to this drop-down menu, And once you have groups set up, if you go to customize,
So, I'm sorry. Was there a button?
Yep.
Because normally now,
Yep.
just recently I
Right
noticed
here.
it's like to put. Like, maybe it's for comment. Okay.
now the comment you post on others, I don't think you
Yeah.
have this
'Cause
choice.
Now you just hit enter.
Good
and
point.
and it posts.
Good
so-
point. So your
Type
com
something
But
in
your own
before you
status
hit
update.
enter.
Yeah, before you hit share, you can determine
Ah.
which group will see this particular post. It's going to default to whatever your privacy settings are. My privacy settings are friends only. But if I do the drop down menu, there is customize is your keyword on all of this stuff. Customize will allow you to decide who sees it, and I can say,
Only me?
oh, right. Yeah, what would be the point of that? I don't know. Friends only, or hide this from is the key here. If you start typing, and if I start typing in my core friends, the lists will pop up here.
Yeah.
So you could hide it from your work, or hide it from, you could say a banned list,
Yeah.
or you have to set these up though. So you can ban
That's
it
where
from
you
those.
type in one of your groups of.
Right, so I might start typing in core friends, and it's going to pop up. So it's not, it can be an individual person. You could just hide it from your parents. So your kids do have that, ability. I've used it for this
So
before.
like if you're throwing a surprise party, and
There you
didn't
go.
want, I'm throwing a surprise party for Gretchen and I
That's
don't
so
want her
nice.
to know about it. So I could exclude her only from this.
Exactly. Although I don't know that Facebook's the best place to plan a surprise party, but yes, in theory, that is
theory,
good.
yeah.
'Cause it might leak out somehow on a friends of friends page or setting. But yes, exactly.